question.
Sometimes different emotions arise in the mind, whether they are good or bad, and many times it feels impossible to control them. Most often, when negative emotions arise, such as lust, anger, greed, or attachment, we try to observe them and tell ourselves, "This is greed. I should not go any further. I should stop here." But despite this understanding, greed still finds expression in our actions.
Answer. This is also quite natural, isn't it? The emotions that arise within you always reflect your inner state. Whatever you truly are on the inside, that is what will naturally emerge as your feelings and impulses. If lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego are deeply rooted within you, then they will arise with the same intensity. On the other hand, if greed or lust has already become weaker within you, then those emotions will no longer arise with the same force or momentum. The real point behind this question is that merely trying to suppress or control your emotions will not transform them. If anger arises, simply remain aware of it. The moment you observe your anger with awareness, its energy begins to transform. For example, when you feel angry, engage yourself in a constructive or meaningful activity so that the energy behind the anger is redirected and transformed. Do not think of these emotions as something inherently bad. They arise because they are forms of energy. The problem is not the energy itself, it is the direction in which it is flowing. Right now, the channels through which this energy is expressed are misdirected. Your task is to redirect it into the right channels. After all, it is still energy. If there were no energy within you, you would be lifeless. So do not think that this energy exists to harm you. Instead, transform it. Give it a positive direction, and the very same energy will be converted into positive, creative energy. Now, suppose you are feeling angry. Anger is a form of mental energy. If you enjoy writing, begin writing. If you like reading, immerse yourself in a good book. Direct that mental energy toward those activities. Or, if you enjoy listening to uplifting talks or music, start listening. As your attention shifts, the anger gradually fades away. The same principle applies to sexual energy. It is simply energy that is seeking expression in a particular direction. To prevent it from flowing downward into compulsive desires, engage in physical exercise. By doing so, you transform that energy into a different form. This process of transformation is the essence of working with energy. Whatever healthy and constructive method is practical for you, use it. If anger arises, engage yourself in another meaningful activity so that the energy is redirected there. If erotic thoughts or sexual desires arise, which is a natural part of human life, convert that energy into physical energy. Exercise, work out, or do any activity that makes you sweat. As you do so, the erotic energy is gradually transformed into muscular energy and constructive physical vitality. Similarly, if greed arises, do not look at it merely as greed. Instead, transform its direction. Tell yourself, this longing should be for the divine. Turn your attention toward God, and that same energy of greed will begin to flow toward the divine. In this way, focus on transforming every form of energy. Whatever desires or impulses arise within you can gradually be converted into noble feelings, positive aspirations, and higher intentions. As this transformation takes place, your life naturally begins to improve. If you are able to practice this, it can be of immense benefit to you.
One more question comes to my mind. You explained that energy can be transformed, for example, through physical exercise or by directing it toward an activity that genuinely interests us. But if I become angry or experience sexual desire and then redirect that energy elsewhere, am I really transforming it, or am I simply suppressing it and pushing it into another outlet?
Answer: no, not at all. It is not suppression, it is transformation. Transformation simply means changing the direction in which the energy flows. The energy itself remains the same, but its momentum and expression are redirected. Imagine clean water flowing through a drainage channel. If you change its course, the very same water can be diverted into a field. The water has not changed, only its direction has. Once it reaches the field, it nourishes the land and helps crops grow. But if it continues flowing into the drain, its potential is wasted. The same principle applies to your inner energy. Transformation does not mean destroying the energy or forcing it down. It means ensuring that it no longer flows in an unhealthy or unhelpful direction. Instead, you consciously redirect it toward a higher and more constructive purpose. The moment its direction changes, that same energy, which once seemed harmful, gradually becomes beneficial and, in time, serves your growth and well-being.
Question: we gradually develop a habit of becoming absorbed in the senses, the mind, the intellect, and the ego. Whether it is lust, anger, greed, pride, jealousy, finding faults in others, or misunderstanding people, these patterns seem to become deeply ingrained. How do these habits develop, and how can we free ourselves from them? Many times, the more we try to get rid of a bad habit, the stronger it seems to become.
Answer: what you have described in detail are all different states of the mind. Every one of these tendencies is connected only with the mind. In fact, the mind itself is what creates your worldly experience. The real task is to become separate from the mind rather than remain identified with it. The link between your inner life and the outer world exists primarily through your breath. It is the breath that connects your inner consciousness with your external experience. Apart from this, There is no direct connection between your inner being and the outside world. If you turn your attention inward, you will discover that the mind is always looking outward. It does not naturally look within. The moment you begin to look inside and observe your breath, your awareness starts moving inward along with it. As your awareness and your breath become united, you gradually begin to experience a separation between your true awareness and the physical body. As the breath naturally becomes slower and subtler, awareness is given the opportunity to unite with the Supreme Consciousness. As this state gradually deepens, the mind is left far behind. This is because the mind draws all of its strength from the breath. And the breath, in turn, is sustained by the food you eat. If you eat a pure, Sattvic diet and eat in moderation, your breathing naturally becomes slower. Then, as you continue to observe your breath with awareness, it becomes even calmer and more subtle. As the breath quiets down, the mind also becomes peaceful, because the mind receives its energy only through the breath. As your breathing becomes slower and the number of breaths naturally decreases, a deep inner stillness begins to arise. You experience a growing sense of emptiness, nothingness, and inner space. This inner void is the abode of the divine. Look at the universe itself. It is vast, open space. That infinite emptiness is what makes the universe what it is. Even the earth is not completely solid. Within it there are countless spaces and layers. As this space extends through the earth, different substances are formed within its various layers. In one place, gold is created, in another, silver, elsewhere, oil. What brings about these different formations? It is the influence of the universe itself, the power that pervades it. It is the influence of that infinite space, that vast emptiness. That very emptiness is a manifestation of the divine. As you gradually enter this inner state of emptiness, the mind naturally loses its hold over you. There is no need to force it away. The mind remains powerful only because you continue to identify with it. And it is this identification with the mind that gives rise to all kinds of suffering in your life.